How does the chiropractic adjustment work? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Dan Perman. I'm a board-certified chiropractic neurologist and the clinic director of Nexus Brain Center at Life Chiropractic College West. I wanted to discuss today our most current understanding of how the chiropractic adjustment works. There is a lot of outdated information out there that not only are the general public believing, but chiropractors are still educating their patients about. So I want to go over what the chiropractic adjustment is definitely not and what our most current hypothesis for the mechanism behind the chiropractic adjustment is. First off, there's this idea that the chiropractic adjustment goes something like this. The bones are out of place and misaligned, and when they're misaligned, they are pressing on nerves, and with that comes nerve interference. This is kind of like a foot on the hose kind of theory, where we are stepping on a nerve or compressing a nerve, which is reducing nerve flow, which then reduces function. We know that this is really not what we are doing as chiropractors in this day and age, okay? There is no pressure being put on the nerves. There's no misalignment that is pushing on the nerves. This is possible. It's called compressive radiculopathy. And while it is something that we might treat as chiropractors, it is not what is going on the large majority of time when we are adjusting our patients. Now, this is an explanation that is still taught today, explained today by chiropractors, and I am pleading with chiropractors, please stop talking about the chiropractic adjustment in this way. It is really not what is going on. If you need help learning how to actually explain this stuff, please pay attention to this video. Okay, so while we don't have definitive proof that this is what we're doing with the chiropractic adjustment, this is the leading hypothesis as to how things are working here. And when you look into the neuroanatomy of things, it is more than biologically plausible. So, due to trauma, bones can get fixated, and sometimes as those bones get fixated, they move a little bit out of place. But we're not talking about big movements. The misalignment that we're talking about with a fixation in the spine is in the order of a millimeter or two, okay? So what we do as chiropractors is find those fixations and try to restore motion to them as well as we can. Now, what do we call that fixation that occurs due to trauma? Well, a lot of chiropractors call it the Vertebral Subluxation Complex, or the subluxation for short. Now, chiropractors, you can totally call it that if you want. I recommend that you use Vertebral Subluxation Complex rather than subluxation, because that does have a medical meaning, and that's really not what we're dealing with. A medical subluxation is a partial dislocation of a joint. We are dealing with something far subpathological compared to a true subluxation. But some doctors are calling it segmental dysfunction, fixation. It doesn't really matter what you call it. What matters is what's actually happening under the scene. Now,